I knew I'd forget something. I knew I'd totally forget something. Um, Talking about Jesus, okay? Remember how we always say that the Old Testament is the New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. The Old Testament is the New Testament concealed. It's what it is. But it's where's God? Okay? What's concealed is God. Okay? It's it's understanding the order of that first 10, and yes, that is the generation that shall not pass. Okay? Again, because the Bible's in layers, yes, it does mean the 1948, but I'm telling you, it's that first 10. It's that generation shall not pass. That is a that's why those links of those ages are so long. This is something different. Okay? They are different. They are different than what our eyes see. All right? But Jesus, the three kings, this is why the three kings brought him those specific things. Okay? This is why they had to flee to Egypt. Okay? This is why Jesus, they were trying to make him king. Okay? Because they wanted their Messiah to be the king. They wanted trying to make him king, and he wasn't going to be. And that's why he kept going. He kept going because he wasn't going to do that. He wasn't going to take that earthly kingly throne. All right? But he was born. They didn't recognize him because he wasn't the son of the God of their prophets, of their, no, I didn't say that right. They didn't recognize him because he was not the son of the God that they knew of the Old Testament. Okay? Because, and that's why this time that we've had to linger out for so long, because we had to wait for the prophets to fulfill their words. Not necessarily God's words. Our Father, our Creator, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, not necessarily his words. Okay? But in order to make everything true, he had to make those be fulfilled. See, those prophets were his people, but they were hearing from this earthly God. They were hearing the God of the Old Testament was all wrath. It was all wrath. It was all judgment and wrath. It was all the hands, all the judgment hands. Okay? Jesus, they didn't recognize him because he was not that son to that God. You know, I don't even know how to explain that. Wasn't. Okay? He wasn't. That's why that's why he didn't rebel and have an army and go after and do all that even his disciples wanted him to do. They wanted him to fight, but he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. It is switched. I mean, telling you what we think we know, we don't, because it is switched. If something is hidden in the Old Testament, well, what is it? It's a big, they'll hide him. It's a big hide, okay? And something is revealed in the New Testament, that's a big reveal. But you got to find out which ones are which, because there's your truth. But everything really stopped with the Old Testament. Okay? It really, really did. It really did. But this had to continue on because it was and in notes in the Bible, well, in order for Jesus to fulfill the words spoken by the prophet Isaiah, or spoken by the prophet blah, 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 he had to fulfill that to make them right. It states that through the whole Bible that to fulfill that prophet's words, because that prophet, they spoke, and it was about curses or judgment or this or that. You know what I mean? It was mad, this or that. But in order to make his father's words, true, because if those things would not have been fulfilled, people would have thrown the Bible out. Because see, it's layers. You have to get to the layers to know the truth. So people would have pitched him out. So God had to make him manifest outright. He had to make him true in order to make his final word true, for him to get the ultimate glory of it all. So that's why those things had to play out. Okay? It's not necessarily our God's words. But he knew people wouldn't understand that. He knew that the veil, it's covered, the veil covers us. Okay? He knew that we did not have sight. We did not have hearing. We did not have sight. And so these are breadcrumbs that he's laid out. Okay? And so again, it's all through the Bible. Those who hear what the Spirit is saying, those who have hearing, let them hear what the Spirit is saying. It's all through it. It's all through it. It's the whole story of him too. And step by step by step by step of why he did what he did. Certain things. Oh, come on. Don't let me forget. I saw it. I missed in the last one. I missed in the last one. I hope I can't. I don't know. I don't know now. Got that sometimers. Oh, man. Oh, I know. Oh. Okay. Why Benjamin is so important, and he is so important, okay? Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin is known as the wolf. Okay, wolf. And one of the gates is Benjamin's too, right? I talked about all the gates about a year ago. I went through all the gates that we enter. I only known that from God. I mean, I couldn't know this stuff unless God told me. I'm telling you, there's just no possible way. And I can go every day. Every day, he just opens up. Every day. I could go on and on and on. Oh, he totally gives me all this. Totally, completely gives me all this. I mean, I'll just be walking from here to the kitchen. Boom. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Benjamin, though, it's the wolf. Now, the Lord had a year ago had said, tribe of Benjamin, you're the tribe of Benjamin, Well, I didn't know anything about the tribe of Benjamin. I don't know anything about Benjamin. I don't know about the tribe of Benjamin. I don't know anything. So, of course, I had to go, I've been in God school for the past, year straight, every day, 24/7. But you have to learn, because he did not give it all he did not give one group everything. He gave one group this, and one group this, and you've got to put it together or you'll never know the truth. So see, if you hold judgment, or that your pride stands in the way where you think you know and you won't go, he's got this in 3 different spots, okay? And you gotta bring it together or you'll never know the truth. Never. So, in my God school, it's all about its patterns. Everybody, right? Everybody. Benjamin is called the wolf. Benjamin, God says, Benjamin is his strength, in his back, is the strength of his back. What is that? What is that, you say? What is the strength of God's back? Well, when you pull an arrow, it's your back right there where Benjamin's at that gives the strength to pull the bow and arrow, to shoot the arrows. God's going to shoot those arrows, right? He's going to shoot those arrows and shoot those arrows and shoot those arrows. Benjamin is right there. That's the strength of his back that shoots the arrows, that pulls the shoulders together. Okay, and shoulders, all angelic, right? It's the strength that gives that shoulders, the back, to pull that air, to pull those arrows. But Benjamin is also what? The wolf. You know, could that apply to the wolf in sheep's clothing? You know, it's just things are just not what we think. This is about Rachel and Leah, the two sisters. But this time, this 22 years, um, is everybody. Revelation, book of Revelation is 22 chapters. And so I say everybody has to go through the book of Revelation. You have to go through everything to receive God's revelation, to receive it. You have to go, that's why 1 to 22, and that's why that the 23rd of, when the 23rd comes up, you always got to watch, because that's always your Psalm 23. You're either walking by the still waters, or you are walking through the valley of shadow of death. That's what Psalm 23 is. And that's why the two groups go together, okay, at first, because they're going to be doing their Psalm 23. One is going to be led by the still waters, and the other one's going to be walking in the valley of shadow of death. Two groups. That's why they're going to go together. But, see, 22 represents 22 years. It represents the time that Jacob was under Laban's authority. He was basically a slave. He worked for, with the story, he wanted to marry Rachel. Well, he had to work 7 years, and then, the night she was disguised with a veil. He didn't know. It was the wrong sister. He was tricked. He was fooled. This is your story about so much of this world and how things have been. Okay, he was tricked. So now he's going to, he worked for 7 years, and so then so it was 7, so then it was another 7, okay, and then now he had to work 7 more years for Rachel. So at the end of the day of the 22nd year, the day that was over, it was the 22nd year, they were out of there. They were out of there. Jacob got his whole family, flocks, everything, his wives, and they headed out. They were free. This represents the 22nd of the month, the number 22. That's why we have that 21, 22, and 23. That's what these are for. Okay, so the 22 represents you run from the enemy, you leave from the enemy, because you're free now, right? So, and then what happened though, Rachel, she stole all of her father's idols, remember? Because Laban had all those, pagan got all those idols, and Rachel stole them. I mean, she took them because she was going to get rid of them, and she hid them in her tent. And what happened? But Laban, he went after them, right? Again, it is the whole story of Moses and the Israelites. They were free, they were on their way, and here comes Pharaoh, the enemy, after them. Again, by right, Jacob was free, wives, children, everybody, they head out and leave, but here comes the enemy after him. Laban's after him again. Now Laban's coming after him, right? And he catches up with him. Rachel's hid his idols. He says, well, they're not here. He didn't find him, did he? But what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened, did it? No. Laban turned around and went home. This tells us what's going to happen again. Okay? But if you listen to all the stories that's going around, the earthly, fleshly stories coming from man, is man's hearing. See, what is man hearing? And what's that hearing? It's got to come from here. It's got to come from here. And God's love coming down. He's going to do good things, okay? He's got to fulfill his word, and he's got to do that shaking, but he has specific reason to do that shaking. Okay? It's shaking out of love, and not out of wrath. Not out of wrath. He's got to do what he's got to do, but but it's for a good reason. And so again, the fire, going into the fire, that's a good thing. He's cleansing. He's cleansing. You know, it's reconcile. It's the time of reconciliation. But he's going to burn the dross, the earthly, fleshly dross off of them. So, gosh. Again, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Uh, I'm not date setting. I'm not at all. I'm saying this is your time pattern. This is your pattern of where we're at now. And this is, well, you can't, the 2012. There's so many things that represents, and it represents when Jesus is 12. Okay, because the 2000, it's going to go to that 2000 year. You can look at it as you know, the birth, but the 2012, that's what that represents when he's 12, and he goes, he now he's of age to go to his father's house. Okay, so and it's the 3 days walk going back and getting him, but God's clock's going back this way, one's going this way, one's going this way, and in the middle. So and it matches, I tell you, from Passover to Day of Atonement to Pentecost, all these days match. The numbers perfectly, 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 perfectly. You can go and play with them and add them up. They all match perfectly. So, anytime, you guys, just, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So don't worry. Just don't get caught up in all that stuff. Don't watch the play-by-play of what's going on in the world. Yes, it's going to happen because the enemy is mimicking. Remember when its Bible says it's a shadow of things. Shadow. So this is your two. This is why there's always two, because we have a shadow. It's why there's two of everything. Two sides, two brothers, two faces, two. It's our shadow. Our shadow is our darkness. Okay, we all have shadow. It's our darkness. It's our light and our darkness. Our shadow is the enemy. It is. Our light, because the light in us is the kingdom. Our light is God. It's our heart, right? Our chambers, 4 chambers, whole thing. I've already gone through this. It's where our light is. When the light reflects off the dark, or the dark reflects, when the light reflects off the dark, it causes that shadow. Okay? Again, that's why there's no shadows in heaven. It's because we don't have any shadows, because there's no darkness on us, right? And our flesh is what covers us, because our flesh has to cover and protect, because that's kind of our dome right now. So see how it goes. You can't have it both ways. So, but in heaven, it's burnt off. Okay, and so it's all light, and so we have no shadow. But our shadow is our darkness. Okay, because it's our flesh that covers us. But that's what it is. So everything you have to understand. It's a shadow of things. It's a shadow of things. It's a shadow of things. Everything has a shadow. Okay. I hope I didn't forget anything. I know I did. Shoot. So many good things in there. I can't even stand it. So I'm sorry I haven't got back to people. I'm sorry. I'm getting over this pneumonia thing, and I'm tired. I'll be honest with you, I'm tired. When I sleep, when I wake up, it's just 24/7, and I'm tired. I say, Lord, I'm so tired. I'm ready for my rest. I'm so ready for my rest. I'm tired. Every day. I'm not gonna go. I love you. See you soon. If I do another video, I'll put what I was gonna, but I don't think I'm going to, because there's no use in it. We're right there, guys. We're right there, right there, right there, right there. Love you.